All right, so we're still talking about the 7 common mistakes single ladies make, and we're at number 6. It is confusing the ideal with reality. Many times, single ladies confuse the ideal with reality. You need to realize that as a woman, yeah, God gave you the gift of fantasy. That's what I like to say. I like to say God gave women the ability to dream, especially when it regards relationships. Women have the gift of fantasy. They can dream big. They can dream. And in fact, a lot of the best-selling movies for young girls are centered around fantasy. Cinderella, all these movies, they're centered around fantasy. And so women from a young age have that gift of fantasy. However, you need to marry that with also the reality. You have to marry that fantasy with the reality. A lot of people have missed God's best, because they were not able to recognize when God brought a blessing to their life. God sends most things in seed form. He doesn't give you the complete thing. He doesn't give you the perfected thing. He gives it to you in seed form so that you can have the privilege of building and contributing, to that thing, to the final picture. Because for everybody it's different. So he can't bring it custom made. He puts it in seed form, allows you to contribute to it so that it grows into your ideal. So don't confuse the ideal with the reality. There are 2 different things and you must marry them. You don't have to say it must be this way from beginning or never. All right? You must be able to marry the 2, the ideal with the reality. So you must appreciate progress as opposed to focusing on perfection. Progress is talking about where is this guy coming from? How far has he come? Perfection is where you want him to get to. Because many women have missed God's best because they were thinking, oh, I want him to already have so-and-so thing. I want him to be a millionaire. Now, what you need to check is, has he grown financially? If he has grown financially, then he will still become a millionaire, especially with your help and with you in his life. But if you want him to already come as a millionaire, you might miss a lot of people that you could have spent the rest of your life with or you could have married just because they didn't fit into the image you had from beginning. So appreciate progress. Appreciate progress and not just perfection. Appreciate progress and not just perfection. And stop setting wrong goals. A lot of people make that mistake. They set the wrong goals. So they say things like, oh, like I mentioned earlier, he must be a millionaire. He has to have this kind of car. He must live in this kind of place. Those are the wrong goals. What you should set as a goal are things like, oh, I can't marry a man if he doesn't respect me. I can't marry a man if he's not hardworking. I can't marry a man if he doesn't truly know God. You see, when the goals are right, because if you say, oh, I can't marry a man except he's the man of God, he must be a pastor. He might not be there now, but he might grow to be there. So you need to understand that life is in phases, men are in sizes. All right? Life is in phases, men are in sizes. I didn't look like this when I got married. I didn't look anything like this, but thank God my wife saw those potentials in me, saw the capacity in me, and she knew that with her help, I'll become better. So you need to note where the person is coming from so that you can know what to do. Focus on the right goals. Focus on the right goals. Don't say, oh, he has to be rich now, he has to be this and all that, Know how to manage it. Your gift of details can also make you very petty. You understand? Because you're so used to picking details, so you look at a man head to toe, you size him out. It makes you become ungrateful. It makes you not to appreciate where the person is coming from. Remember, I'm not talking about just a deadbeat kind of guy. I'm not talking about a guy that is not interested in building himself. I'm talking about you seeing that okay, he has the potentials. He has actually put in the work. He's desirous of building himself. And you realize that by the time you come in, because the Bible said 2 are better than 1, they will have a good reward for the labor. The Bible says he that finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from God. So you realize that by the time you come into his life, you will multiply his results and he'll be better. But he has to be ready to build himself. Okay, very important. So set the right goals. Don't confuse reality and your ideal. Your ideal is great, but it's something you are going to contribute to and build. All right, it's not something that's going to happen immediately. Most times, what you are complaining about is what you are sent to actually help him with. All right, so you need to notice that. What are the wisdom points? What are the wisdom points? Number 1, what is the ideal and possible reality? So make a mental note. What is the ideal you want in this man and where is he now? What is the ideal and what is the reality? I want a millionaire, but he's just a thousandaire. But is he working hard? Does he look determined to grow? I want a man of God, but this guy is just a new Christian. Now, is he genuinely pursuing a relationship with God? Is he desiring to grow spiritually? That's what I'm measuring. I want a really romantic man. You know, I don't know which man is romantic, but you know, an ideal romantic man that can sing love songs and all that. Does he really love me and respect me? That means he would eventually grow. Because when I got married, I wasn't romantic at all. I was what my wife calls aromantic. She was jokingly saying that's the opposite of romantic. I was not anything like that. I didn't even know how to call and what to say when I call. You know, but I grew over the years to be this knowledgeable. All right? So number one, what is the ideal and possible reality? Number two, how can I help him to create my ideal? What can I do? Where can I come in as we start the relationship, as we go in, start planning to go into marriage? You know, can I help him sharpen the edges? Can I help him, you know, fine tune his efforts? Can I contribute? Because like I said, sometimes what you're complaining about is what you are sent to actually correct. You know, I've seen some women say, oh, I don't like his hairstyle, I don't like that. Those are the things you are sent to help him with. My wife did that for me. I wasn't like this at all. I was slimmer than this. She saw to it that I added to it by feeding me. You know, my haircut wasn't like this. She's the one that told me to have a beard, that to look better. In other words, she created part of this ideal. She didn't just sit down and say, I want you to come already like this. As a matter of fact, she said she wasn't even physically attracted to me when she met me. You know, so she had to contribute to it. So sometimes what you are complaining about is what you are sent to correct. So how can I help him create this ideal? All right, number three, what can I be thankful for? What does he already have that is going for him? You know, sometimes we focus so much on what we don't have that we lose sight of what we do have. So what can I be thankful for? Both in my life and also in his life. What can I be thankful for in this relationship right now? What can I be thankful for? All right, don't be so obsessed with what is not working that you lose sight of what is working. So now we'll soon go to point number 7. All right, we're at number 7. We'll be looking at the 7 mistakes single ladies make. And we're at number 7. And this one, the mistake is simply ignoring patterns. Ignoring patterns. All right, you need to know that patterns don't lie. All right, patterns don't lie. Very important. For every marriage that has broken, the signs were glaring. The signs were there. Somebody just chose to focus on their emotions and not see it. When they say love is blind, it's actually true. They were blinded by the emotions and they didn't take note of the patterns. Patterns don't lie. All right? So don't marry potentials, marry patterns. Don't marry potentials. Everybody has potentials. What you need to look out for are the patterns. The patterns don't lie. Everybody has potentials. They're giving back to me. In my country, they've been saying Nigeria has potentials. And that's how we've been for over 40 years, over 60 years, sorry. You know, so it can depend on potentials. Everybody has potentials. What you should look out for are the patterns. All right? Patterns don't lie. So look out for, because the patterns are telling you where this person is going. The patterns are telling you what will happen in the future. So how do I pay attention to the patterns? Observe and ask important questions. Observe and ask questions. Sometimes you're not even asking the person the questions, you're asking yourself the questions. You are observing. So a few examples. Number 1, what is this person proud and listens to no one? So he doesn't have a pastor, doesn't have a mentor. He's the Lord of his own life. You know, he doesn't go to church, doesn't know anybody. You know, he's just like that. He's too proud for anybody to speak into his life. Watch out, that's a bad pattern. He's too proud. Next one, is he domineering and always right? There are people like that. They're just too domineering and they are always right. You never have a reasonable argument or discussion with them. You can never disagree with them. They are always right. Their view is either their view or no view. You know, it's domineering and always right. Next thing you should look out for, is he always broke, begging or borrowing? Is he always broke, begging or borrowing? That means he has bad financial patterns. You know, bad finance. I mean, he has been working for 5 years. He has been working for 2 years. What does he have to show? Is he always, living above his means? So he's always begging, always broke, always borrowing, always living above his means. He can't manage what he has well. Those are patterns to note because those things might reproduce themselves in your marriage. Does he show signs of violence now? Always threatening to slap you. Always, when he gets angry, his eyes become red or green like that of Incredible Hulk. Watch out, those are signs of violence. Or does he threaten to slap you? Or have you seen him slapping somebody else on the road when he's upset, when he's angry? Those are signs of violence. On that question, you can ask, is he lazy or too laid back about life? Just lazy. Everything is okay. Never motivated, unambitious, because he won't change because of you. He won't change in marriage. All right? He won't change in marriage. On that thing, you can check. Does he show signs of extreme verbal and emotional abuse? He's always insulting you, saying you're a fool, bloody fool. Things like that. He said you don't have sense. That's why your mother is useless. People like that. Watch out. Those things usually don't reduce in marriage. They increase. All right? And on and on and on. So check the patterns. That's what I'm saying. You must be observant. You can't be so in love that you are not observant. Patterns don't lie. Patterns don't lie. And I tell women most times that your needs, if I know women, men and women, your needs change in marriage. What you started with is not what you will end with. Your needs will keep evolving as you grow. I tell women sometimes that when you are single and young, you are maybe impressed by how he spends money on you. But when you get married, you'll be impressed more by how he saves money, not by how he spends. You see? So your needs change basically. You keep evolving. So you need to make sure that the patterns you are seeing is something that is consistent with what you want to become as time goes on. All right? Watch out for the patterns. And why do ladies sometimes stay with, men they have no business staying with? Why do ladies settle for less? Enter some relationships that everyone around them knew this lady had no business marrying this guy. This girl has no business dating this guy. Why do ladies enter those relationships? Number one, because they think I can cope with this. He's beating you up now, you think I can cope with it. He's slapping you or threatening to slap you, you think I can cope with it. He's spending your money carelessly, always asking you for money, and you think I can cope with it. No, you can't. You will get tired soon. When the family pressures begin to rise, when the rent is due, when the car payments are due, when things begin to rise and you can't cope again, you'll find out that you made a wrong choice. So stop thinking you can cope. And that reason why ladies enter these things is that they think you can change. I think I can change him. This one is a national issue. Ladies always dream of changing a man. Listen, you can't change anybody that doesn't want to change. You can't change anybody that doesn't want to change. Very important. So stop thinking you can change him. All right? So I'm not talking about that. You should reject all the men that enter your life. You need to note the men that are really trying to be better. Those are the people you can work with. A man that is really trying to better, that has shown signs that he's also trying to better his own life for himself. He's trying to increase and improve. You can join hands with such a man. But if you see a man that, depending on you to do all the work, or he's not ready to improve himself, run away from such situations, all right? Don't ignore the patterns. Okay, wisdom points. What are the wisdom points for this one? Watch out and notice patterns, even while you are friends. All right, while you're having friendship, normal friendship, while you're talking, watch out and notice the patterns. The patterns don't lie. Watch their relationship with other people. Watch how they are flowing. Watch what they are saying. The best time to know somebody is when there's even no, relationship officially. So check the patterns. Be observant. You can't be so in love that you don't notice. Notice the patterns. Next point on wisdom points, ask yourself if you can live with these things. When you see the patterns, ask yourself, can I live with this fact that this guy is so domineering? Can I live with the fact that he has no mentors or no father figure? Nobody can talk to him. He has no pastor, no mentor, no counselor. He doesn't like to submit to anybody. He's the lord of his own life. Can I cope with it? Can I live with it? Because remember, when you're choosing a husband, you're not only choosing a husband for yourself, you're choosing a father for your kids. You need to ask yourself, is this the kind of father I want for my kids? Do I want my kids to be like this? Is this the person that my kids will look up to? All right, can I live with this? Number 3, get counseling. Get counseling. When you see patterns that are scary or you're not sure of, talk to somebody that is not emotionally involved with this person. You are not the best position to make that decision sometimes. So you talk to somebody that is not in love, that can actually ask you questions and show you in reality that this thing will be a problem. Get counseling. Women make that mistake sometimes when they're in love. They don't want to do premarital counseling. They don't want to go for any coaching. Don't make that mistake. Love is never enough. Women always say, we love each other and that's all that matters. No, everybody that is divorced today felt they loved each other. Everyone. I've not seen anybody that married because they hated each other. Everybody married because they thought they loved each other, but they refused the place of wisdom. The Bible says, in the multitude of counselors, there is safety. So get counsel. Get counsel. Go for counseling, no matter what. All right? Both of you, don't make such an important agreement or enter such an important, relationship without the input of an expert or somebody more experienced or knowledgeable to talk to you. All right, very important. Get counseling. You are seeing patterns you're not sure of. Get counseling. Even if you think the patterns are okay, it's a pattern you get an outsider's view. Somebody that is not in love, that can look at things practically and give you real good advice. And even if you decide to move on, things like premarital counseling is not negotiable for single people. You want to marry, even if you think everything is perfect in our relationship, we love each other, that's never enough. Love is never enough. So do premarital counseling from a trained counselor or an experienced person. Let somebody else look at that whole relationship for you. So I hope this has blessed you. 7 Mistakes Single Ladies Make is from my book. You can pre-order or order the books. It will be on Amazon. It will also be on our website, lovedatingandmarriage.org. Please share this video and make sure you subscribe. Very important. Share the video to your friends, subscribe, and look out for our invitation to the Inner Circle. Pastor K's Inner Circle is where we would discuss relationship issues. Sometimes we'll review books like this and we'll share experiences and share wisdom. All right? And there'll be a part where you get to meet other single people like you, if you know what I mean. All right. So look forward to seeing you. God bless you till our next video. All right. Subscribe. Don't forget. Subscribe. All right.